Alright, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the OpenAI Vision API so that we can upload an image and have ChatGPT read that image and tell us, we could prompt it in any way we want. So what is the image? And it'll generate us a text response. So let's get straight into the video. So I have a blank canvas here. First thing I'm going to do is create a new page. I'm just going to call this narration. You can call this anything you want. And what I'm going to do here is set this to a column layout, 1200 builder width, and I'm going to set the background color just to be a little shade of gray like that. Copy that color code if you want and follow along. I'm going to set this to a line to parent as well, actually, just so we can set on the element in the middle. And then I'm going to get a group, drop that in the center. I'm just going to call this group card. Now, I'm not worrying about the styling too much here, guys. I'm just trying to show you the logic and actually implementing this into the workflows. I'm going to go max width 576 and a min height of 576 just to give us some room to start. And I'm going to set a flat background color of white. And on the padding, I'm going to go 32 all the way around, just like that. And before we finish with this, I'm going to add a roundness of 8, just like that, starting to come together nicely. And then I'm just going to add a nice little solid border style here of a light gray. You can copy all these color codes just like that. All right. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to have just an input that you can type in a question, upload an image, and then ChatGPT's Vision API will actually read the image and return a value of whatever the question is you're asking. So say you upload a photo of a boardwalk and you say, what is this image? It'll actually describe the image to you. So first of all, I'm going to start with we'll just go a multi-line input here. And on the styling, I'll untick max width, no min width, but the min height, just a creative choice here, we'll go 160. All right, and then I'm going to add in a file uploader. As I said, guys, this is a picture uploader. As I said, this is no styling at all. This is just trying to make sure you understand as best as you can the workflows and how they all work to make it easier for you in Bubble. So 192, another creative choice. And I'm going to quickly set some gap spacing here of, we'll just go 24. And then what we're going to add here is a button. So this is what's going to actually commence all the workflows once that button is pressed. So let's add a button. And I'm just going to go generate response. You can call that whatever you want. And we're just going to return this as a text element with a custom state. So there's plenty of other ways you can do this. You can create the data types and save it to a user, then display it in the parameters, or either way. So just for video's sake and ease of use, I'm going to add a text element in, and that will do just for now. Now there's a couple of things we need to set up in the database first. So we're going to make a new data type here, and I'm just going to call this message, just anything. It could be, message narration or anything you want. And that's going to have some body text. So this is where we're saving that multi-line inputs value. And then it's just going to have an image as well. So that is going to be of type image. So that. All right, body text, that's the multi-line input A's, text, and the image will be the file picture uploaded as image. All right, so we're going to press on the generate response here, and what we're going to quickly do before we do anything, I'm going to delete that, and we're going to set up the OpenAI API call here. So I've got the documentation up here for you guys. Follow along. I'm just going to quickly add all the stuff in. So call it OpenAI. Authentication will be a private key in header. Authorization here. and I'm going to say bearer, and then what we need to do is actually go and create a new secret key. So on the documentation, you go dashboard, go to API keys, and then we go to the view user API key section, and I'm going to create a new key. I'm just going to call this anything, just like that, create. And then you want to copy your secret key here, guys. Navigate back to the Bubble app and then paste in your newly created secret key, making sure that we have a space between the bearer and the secret key here. And then we're going to add a shared header. Now what that means is we can apply an individual header for each call, but say you wanted to have the vision API and then you wanted like a chat completion also. This makes it easier and will save you a lot of time. So this is going to be content type application JSON. Now follow along, that has to be case sensitive, so you need to make sure that you match exactly what I'm writing here in your app. And then we're going to actually make the call here. So we're going to expand this and we're going to call this the vision. Now this we're going to use as an action because we're going to reference this in the workflow, and we're going to set this to a post because we're sending data to OpenAI. Now we'll go back to the API reference, the documentation, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to search for the vision API. Back to our references here, and I'll just quickly explain to you where I'm getting this stuff from. So the content type application JSON, which is what I just added in there. Authorization, bearer with our secret key. That is what you can see here. Now this is the body that we need to copy and paste in. So from this curly bracket all the way down to the other curly bracket, I'm going to copy that, go back to our Bubble app, and we're going to paste that body in here. Now we also need to post this to a URL. So back on the documentation here, we have this URL. We need to copy and paste that into here, just like that. So we have the post, it's posting to that URL. We already have that shared header set up for all of our calls. And now we can move down to the body. So what we can see here is we have a couple of things. So we have text, what is this image? So this is going to be the multi-line value. So whatever the user types, we want this to be dynamic. So as you can see here, we have the open square caret brackets here for dynamic values, as Bubble says. So we're going to, from the quotation marks, we're going to add in a couple of these brackets, and I'm just going to call this image prompt. And then we also down here have a URL. So this is the URL of the example image that OpenAI provides. This also has to be dynamic. So inside the quotation marks now, copy that URL. And then once you have that copied to clipboard, you can hit backspace. And now this, we're also going to add the open braces here, and we're just going to have this say image, we'll go URL. And now you can see we have two things that we can make dynamic. So before we go any further, make sure we untick private on both, because that means that we can actually reference that in the workflow. And for the image URL here, well, we just want to paste that image URL that we just copied. And the image prompt, we can just say, what is this image? Making sure that we have the two quotation marks now, because as you can see back in the JSON body, this image prompt here doesn't have the quotation marks, but this image URL does. So for this one, we need the quotation marks, and this one we don't. All right, then we're going to hit this option here to include errors in response and allow workflow actions to continue. Press that. And now we can initialize the call here. And this is going to work, but I will change one more thing before we save this, and that's going to be the tokens just there. So we have return values, that's all worked, but I'm just going to hit cancel really quick, and we're going to change the max tokens to 500. And now I'm going to reinitialize, and then we will save, and we are nearly there, guys. So making some real progress. So show raw data, and we have the response. So the image depicts a scenic pathway made of wood and scattered trees under a partly cloudy blue sky. So we're going to save that here. And then what we're going to do is go back to our front end, and on the button itself, we're going to add a workflow. So when this button's clicked, we're going to go down to our plugins, OpenAI Vision. And as you can see, we have two values here. So the image prompt, which is going to be the multi-line value, and the image URL is going to be the picture uploaded values. So what I'm going to do here is on this page in the workflow, I'm going to go to the elements, and an inputs value is changed, and that's going to be the picture uploader value. So when this value is changed, what do we want to do? So we're going to need to set a custom state on this element here to save this image and send it to the OpenAI Vision to get that generated response. So the element here, I'm going to save it to the narration, which is what I called the page. So at page level. And the custom state I'm going to call this is just image, with a state type of image as well. And the value is going to be this picture uploader's value. So when someone uploads an image, it will set that custom state straight away, and then we can reference it in this workflow here and send it to OpenAI. So the image prompt is going to be the multi-line input A's value, and the image URL. So I'm going to backspace on everything here, guys. And I'm going to go HTTPS semicolon, just like that. Insert dynamic data, and this is going to be the narration is our page name, the newly custom states image URL. So our narration image URL. So it's when someone uploads an image, it'll set a custom state and save it. We are saving it there with that HTTPS semicolon, and then we are sending it to OpenAI and getting that generated response. And then we're just going to save another custom state here. So after that step one, we're going to set state of an element. The element is going to be narration once again. The custom state, as you can see, we have our image one. We don't want that one this time. We want a new one. And I'm just going to call this text. So this will be the generated text that OpenAI generates for us, of type text as well. And now the value is going to be the result of step one, OpenAI's body choices, first item, message content. So it's a bit of a mouthful there, but that is what we need to reference inside of the OpenAI's return call. And the last thing we're going to do here is back on the step one. I'm going to, after the value, we're going to go formatted as JSON safe. So that just basically cleans up any unwanted characters. And then we are ready to go here, guys. So one last thing is back on the front end, on the text, we're going to insert dynamic data and say the narrations text. All right, now let's preview this. And we'll just say, what is this image? Question mark. And I'm going to upload a random image. We'll just upload something like this. As you can see, it's an image of 4 people, what looks like around a workbench or something. Now let's generate response, and this will load. All right, and as you can see, this image depicts a group of 4 people interacting in a modern office setting. They appear to be engaged in a friendly conversation with one person holding a tablet. And just like that, we have connected successfully with the OpenAI's Vision API. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and leave any video suggestions that you would like to see in the comment section, and I will make every one of them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.